Been a fuck ton of inflation. Everything's more expensive. I think that's the best point that you made inadvertently so far. Is that just
Inflation's a bitch.
Like, it was
it
perfect.
was a little inadvertent?
Dude, I about pooped my pants a few weeks ago.
Hey guys, what's up and welcome to Laser Source Podcast, the number one podcast if you hate Matt Potterford. Good news, he's not here tonight, so you don't have to deal with his nonsense. In his place, Mr. Anthony Montez. What's up, sir? How are you?
Yeah, doing great.
Dude, I fucking just am mostly angry that you live in such a beautiful house. It really upsets me every single time you come on the show. And Kyle's here. What's up, man?
What up, what up, what up?
What up? So, we're here.
Finally not feeling like I'm dead.
We're live. We're live. We're all live. I don't know if did we talk about like a topic for tonight or not? I think Matt mentioned some things, but then he died. So David Mason Sr., hello from Alabama. Hello. What's the weather like south of New York this time of year? Is it like good?
South of New York?
Yeah.
Probably.
I don't know. I'm in New York, so I only have a frame of reference for things like that and north of it.
You could say I'm sort of south of New York, and it's 28 degrees and cold.
You don't care. You're like, in my brain, you live in New York. In my brain, Anthony also lives in New York. So
Kind of close.
fucking cold outside. The weather sucks right now. How's Florida? Is Florida nice?
It's 80 degrees right now. It's 70
Ew.
in my garage.
How's that even possible?
Conditioning's not on. I don't know, because climate change. I don't know. Dinosaurs dying. I don't know.
It's February. I mean, it gets cooler there in the winter, right?
Yeah, it got down to like 28 for like 2 days. Like, you could see your breath. That was pretty exciting. Like, my kids were like, "Oh my god!" And
Were
like,
the iguanas falling from the trees?
no iguanas from our trees, but I'm sure there were like in southern Florida, because I'm in the middle, right? Like, Tampa's kind of not even cool enough to be southern Florida, and it's definitely to be northern Florida. So
Have you ever picked a coconut, Matt,
yes,
and then just like right there on the spot?
you can't just like. I mean, I don't usually take tools with me to the beach. Like, it's not like I'll like
You
get
need
the
like
machete.
a hatchet
and go
or a
and
machete or...
yeah, no, I've done it. Like, you literally just you pick them off the tree. Really, you pick them off the ground, because like on the tree they're usually like still green and stuff. Not really great.
It's not like apples where they have like worms and shit in them when you pick them up off the ground. Like, don't you want them out of the tree?
No, like basically like things try to like gnaw on them and stuff like that. But you basically
If
got
there's
two
not
options.
actively a hole in it, you're fine usually.
Yeah, pretty much. If you
Speaking of things to gnaw on,
I thought you were gonna say
I just got a really cool, no, I'm just being you. I just got a really cool email from Johnson Plastics Plus loaded with the upcoming deals for the quarter. That's something for you to gnaw on right there. Yeah, there's a ton of great stuff that they're coming out. Some new laser blanks, a bunch of new machines. They've really been expanding their machine collection, and all the stuff that you guys are used to seeing on the regular from Johnson Plastics Plus. Did you guys see the short that I posted to Instagram?
I didn't.
Rhiannon did a really funny edit of, if you guys follow us on Instagram, go watch it. It's a really funny edit of when I was like, you know what babies love? Johnson Plastics Plus. And like, I went on like this whole rant about how like the toads are coming, and you were like, Evelyn's first words were Romark. It's just a really good edit. It's like 30 seconds long. I was like crying laughing. So yeah, we just posted that. So if you haven't seen it, go watch it, because it's pretty funny. But anyway, Johnson Plastics Plus, sponsor, New Year 2025. They've got plans. We've got plans. They align, and we're going to take advantage of that. So thanks. Shout out to them. You can visit the link in the description below with a coupon code to get 15% off almost everything in the store. Matt, do you want to do the honors, buddy? You haven't been here, dude.
What's the honors? What am I doing?
The code, man. You're like one.
R-CDF. But
That's right.
if it changes, remember, you can always look at the description below. Like, if this is the future,
My mic is fucking hot. Like, too loud. Am I blasting? Am I like clipping right now? Anthony lied to me, dude.
Anthony is partially deaf. Like, corn, you don't know. Corn whistles in the wind. So as the tornadoes fly by his horn, it's just all whistles, and he's just happy to hear anything.
It's like Twister.
You can
It's just
hear the air
Twister.
conditioning on at your house right now.
This is
Alex,
why you listen to
Miranda
the
said
edits.
Alex sounds good to
You're
me.
good there, Alex.
There you go. Miranda said
Okay,
you're
that's
good.
it. That's at 50%. I'm gonna not touch it
I'll
anymore.
turn up my gain for Rob. There's my gain.
Rhiannon really likes it when we change volumes mid-episode. It's like your favorite thing.
Nice.
Well, at least it was 6 minutes in and not 45 minutes in.
Speaking of Rhiannon, beast mode, dude, she edited like 50 episodes of the podcast and got it 100% caught up. So if you guys listen to the podcast in the audio version from here on out, the audio edits will be out like a day or two after the live. So I know a lot of you guys are asking for that. We did like a whole poll day. It was like this whole big thing, made a really big deal out of it. And you said you wanted minimal edits as fast as humanly possible. So that's what we did. And they're all out. And we're officially 100% caught up on season 3. The only exception to that is the video versions of the edits, which are going to come out at like a snail's pace, because if I dump 50 episodes onto YouTube in one day, they will punish me for it. So those have to come out a little bit slower, but all of the audio stuff like Apple Podcasts or Pocket Casts or wherever you listen to like your normal podcast, all of that is 100% up to date. I did the dump in one big day and just caught the whole thing up. So
How did you feel
that's
taking
all
that
up there
down?
now. So good. It was a huge weight off of my hips. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like,
I
there's a lot in it. There's a lot to it, and it's really compact. And so when you
yeah,
can
it's very
just shoot
high
through like
density.
that, right?
Yeah.
And
right.
there's a lot to do with that. I mean, Anthony, what do you think? Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, he really did a hard push to get all those dumped, and I'm proud of him.
Yeah, and what's cool is like Alex, way too anal, right? Way too.
Right.
Like, and Rhiannon, she's ready. It's like she'll get knee deep in it. And
yeah, Rhiannon really came. She just dragged her stool over. You know what I'm saying? And she had a seat and just banged him out.
Popped the squat.
She popped a squat, dude. Just got
royal
it done.
flush. Yeah, just straight up royal flush.
Yeah.
Really nailed this.
Corey Evanstone says, now we are all caught up. Can we get some more emergency stop? You're living it, brother. It's happening to you right now.
Yeah.
So you're welcome.
You just got stopped.
Have you even done anything laser related lately, Matt? Or are you still a slave?
Yeah, no.
What are you doing?
I just got done. See, I can't share my screen on this. I think I can.
Yeah, dude, it's because I downgraded fucking StreamYard and fucked a bunch
I
of
was
shit
like
up.
losing my mind. Okay.
They like raise their, it's like $75 a month now. I need to look into an alternative or something because that's not gonna cut it for me. So.
So in that case, next time tell me that so that my brain, I thought I was like broken. I was like, oh my god,
I forgot how to do this.
Yeah,
I was trying to, but then I thought about babies and then I was thinking about Johnson Plastics Plus.
Ask Alex how many emails I have that are signed up for different things. I think I made like 12 Google profiles while working here.
You did.
So yeah, so basically I just did a gift. If anybody's on Discord, you saw like in the miscellaneous section, I dumped the JPEG the customer had sent me, and they were like, hey, I really want this put onto a trailer hitch. Like, so basically they bought like a black trailer hitch that goes into like where you haul stuff, you know, for like when you don't have the trailer hitch in there, it just kind of covers it and you can lock up so no one steals your stuff. So basically, they bought this really cool. It's actually really neat too. The only problem is underneath it, it said steel on Amazon. It was like maybe like steel, like STAL, because like somewhere in there, like it was definitely.
It was a steel.
Was it that good? Was it that good?
It
pot
was
metal?
ferrous. Like you could stick a magnet on it. That's how I tested it before I did it. Because like if you, by the way, if you don't know, use a magnet first thing and see like, is this really what it's supposed to be?
So it was iron mixed with pot metal.
Pretty much
pot metal.
And that's exactly what it looked like too. So when I used the CO2 because I was like, you know what, I'm not sure this is gonna go the way I want it to, and it was also powder coated. So it had a really nice powder coat. Whoever did that did a great job. Like it was super smooth, really nice, very even. So I was like, you know what, let's just be safe. So I actually took laser tape, no joke, this stuff right here. I know a guy. It's Anthony. And I used the laser tape to literally just cover the project, and I put it in the CO2. Like I actually just put 2 blades in, and it fell right, nicely on there. And then it kept it. Oh, what's the word? It kept it nice and masked, like it's a really good mask because it's got good tack to it, you know. And he actually was able to take that. So when we went through the black powder coat, underneath it was actually black pot metal too. And he was like, "Are you serious?" And I said, "Yeah, dude, that's why I did this." So he took it because it's his wife's present for her birthday, and sprayed it red. And then had his he works at a car place, and they were able to put like a clear coat on it, so it's really nice and sealed up again. So that's why I told him. I said, "Hey, the fact that this is steel, you might want to be really careful because this might rust, you know." So he got it like clear coated, worked out really nice. And then I
Why
also
have
just
one
did-
alloy when you can have 30 alloys?
yeah, pretty much. And then the other thing I just got done doing was 50 of these for a birthday party. Hopefully they're not watching because it is a surprise party. So this is literally just no matter what, I always just have crap on my desk that I've engraved in the past couple of weeks.
Is Jerry short for geriatric?
No, he is 50 though, but I'm close. So shut up, you whippersnapper. Anthony's actually 73 years old, but he drinks Vitamilk every day. So
Vitamin Benjamin.
that's it.
It's all that whatever ethnicity he is. You know, he's just got the genes.
What's really cool about this, by the way, so just to show you, this is with the UV on the rotary. And so really nice. These took about 2 minutes a piece. They're 72 millimeters wide and just under an inch. I think it was like 24 mil tall. And that looks really nice in your hand. So anybody who's looking to do something where it looks nice on one front, keep it between 65 and 75. Usually I feel like on these glasses and you'll be good. But yeah, 2 minutes a piece, charged $7 because there's someone who orders a lot of stuff from me. The wife ordered it through me for him, so I cut them a deal. Normally I do those probably like $8 to $9 a piece because for an order of 50, just because breakage is a pain and so is shipping. So that's pretty much it. Nothing. I think that's about all. What about you guys?
The phone rang today at the shop. It's been so
Ooh.
slow. Fucking January, February sucks so much.
Yeah.
But the phone rang today at the shop, and some lady needed 8 tumblers done for like her soccer team or whatever. And Rihanna was like, "Yeah, we can absolutely take care of that for you." Oh, 2 sides, 8 tumblers. She's like, $40 a pop. She hung up the phone, dude, bro. I was like, I would never make you do this, but like, we need to call her back and tell her we're not $40 or she's not gonna come, dude. Like, so we toned it down. I was like, just call back, just be like, you know, I was like having a stroke. I'm so sorry.
I thought you wanted gallon
Actually,
jugs.
it's actually gonna be closer to 20. I don't know what I was thinking. So she did it. But the lady said yes. That was the crazy part. She was like, sure, great, sounds good. Which I was like, all right.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like I feel like 20 to $25, most people are gonna say yes because you're paying like $6 a piece, and if you do 400 times, like 400%, right, times cost, that puts you right at like $25. So
I know, but for some reason that just feels savage to me, dude. $40 a piece.
yeah, that was brutal.
That's
Although
brutal.
some people though, that's like what they do is like, and
Providing
Anthony,
the
you can
cups.
attest to it. What they might do is say $25 a piece, but there's gonna be a setup fee.
If they were Stanleys, I would charge $40 a piece just because.
Shit,
Yeah,
dude.
was this lady bringing them,
Yeah,
or
to
did she
cover
just
your
want some
costs.
old JPP stuff?
I do not think she wants JPP stuff, but I don't think she specified a brand name over the phone. I wasn't on the call. I just told her she had to call her back. So I missed most of it. But I mean, at any rate, I mean, still for 20 tumblers, or for $20 a pop for 8 tumblers.
Well, so yeah, so
it's
Bunny
$160
Washer and-
for.
I was gonna say Bunny Washer and Kyle have 2 points. What were the cups?
I don't know what you mean.
Like, were they? I got my hands like this. You can't see it. Were they like Stanleys, and then, or were they?
I don't know. I wasn't on the call.
It's really it's difficult.
I get you need to cover the cost for fuck ups, but like maybe just
Oh
don't
no,
fuck up.
I'm not for Stanleys. I literally anytime.
Oh, no,
someone's
it's
like,
literally
"I have a
just because it was
Stanley," I'm like,
Stanley.
cool. I have an indemnity clause.
Oh, just fuck you for buying a Stanley. Those
Well,
are
it's pretty
$40
much
a
like
piece.
if you want to give me a $60 cup, I'm not covering the cost when I tell you that there's a chance that literally I could just have a random flicker of electricity.
I don't know. Maybe I've been out of the game for a little bit, but it just feels like I'm doing 80 seconds of work for
So-
each of those tumblers.
Here's my thought for you. How much does a McDonald's like food meal cost? Like just a random like
fucking way too much.
right. So if
dude.
it's
Like
$12
$9
for a hamburger meal where you get 2
Yeah.
cheeseburgers, a Coke, and a fry for $12, $40 is not crazy for a custom cup 2-sided. It's not.
Yeah.
And
That's
it's
true.
like my wife does the same thing. She does photography, and she was putting down like 50, 75, and $100 for her services. And I was like, you're going to drive 20 to 30 minutes to get there, drive 20 to 30 minutes back. So there's 1 hour. Your job as a teacher pays you $35 an hour, $37 an hour, right? So you're already losing at this point. Then you're going to take pictures for an hour. Then you're going to come back and edit those pictures for an hour to an hour and a half.
Mhm.
And then you have $1,000 camera, you've got a $2,000 computer, you have $200 worth of programs. Like you can't even like for the $50 that you're getting for that 4 hours of work, you just got paid $12 an hour, which is less than a bag boy. So
I still like for I don't know, for a repetitive quantity, I feel like I break for that. Jack is right. I agree with Jack. Jack in chat saying I do $40 for one, which like, yeah, sure. If you bring me a tumbler, that sounds more in line with like what I'm used to charging. Would be like $40 for one. But if you get 8 and they're all getting the
tell
same
them
logo,
30. Then you drop it down to 30. You can't cut it in half.
well, the damage is done. Maybe I'll go up a little bit next time. But
Once you bring
I
them in,
guess
it's like, oh, they're red. Sorry, 35.
there's been a fuck ton of inflation. Everything's more expensive. I think that's the best point that you made inadvertently so far. Is that just
Inflation's a bitch.
Like it was
it
perfect.
was a little inadvertent.
Dude, I about pooped my pants when I went to buy eggs a few weeks ago because my wife does most of the grocery shopping. I was at the grocery store. I was like, let me grab a dozen eggs. Maybe I'll make omelets for the kids tomorrow. Yeah, it was like $5.65 for 8 dozen eggs.
Bro, this is my husband privilege here, but I don't think I've ever bought a fucking pack of eggs once in my life. Ever. I don't think I've ever bought eggs. Is that weird?
No, that's
I
just not your
mean,
job.
Also, if you're just not into eggs, I guess that's a thing.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
you
I
also
don't know.
you also
I'll
don't
eat
mind
an
paying
egg.
extra for people to cook it for you. So
That's
you don't
that's the answer.
like. I mean, honestly,
Yeah.
as much as I know you, like that's it. Like
Shit.
you're like, there's a couple questions in chat, but I kind of
Cool.
want to see Anthony. What do you think, real quick, before we jump to that? What would you charge someone who brought you 8 cups?
Brought me 8 cups, double-sided. I think
All logo on one side, and then on the other side, it's like
Because
13
this is where it matters. Because he has
member
like an actual
number.
shop. He's paying bills with the shop. You know.
I would probably, I mean, I live in Iowa, so it's like a totally different thing, but I would probably start at 20 to 25 a cup, to be honest, just because, I mean, they're providing the cup, and yeah, I understand that there's like a risk involved in doing them, but I feel fairly confident in my skills. I screw up and I've had to eat some Stanleys, you know, and it happens, but like I had a heater turn on and start shaking my laser table.
Yeah.
And my elbow head started moving. And so
Oh,
like the
brutal.
logo that I was doing with cylinder correction was like all jagged on the edges. And I was like, what in the world happened? And my heater turned on. And I was like, no freaking way. So, I mean, accidents happen, but I mean, kind of where I live, I just feel like that's, and I think a lot of it is like there's no universal answer. And you really kind of have to charge in concordance with, I think, your skill set and also what your local market will bear. I mean, where I live, rent's like, you know, $900 a month, and, you know, the power's relatively inexpensive. So me trying to say, I'm going to charge you $40 to do one side of a cup versus, you know, New York, where somebody's paying $600 to rent or $1,600 to rent a room somewhere, you know, like $40 a cup. That's nothing.
Yeah.
You know, that's
Yeah.
Well, also the other thing too is like turnaround. If she wants them like tomorrow, it's gonna be- So that's one more thing for you guys to consider out there. By the way,
Mhm.
Miranda said she thought that you were gonna say you wanted her to charge more. To be honest,
I did, you know, Rhiannon today after this whole experience, she was just like, "You charge things fucking randomly," and I was like, "Yeah, kind of."
Mhm.
yeah. So
Yeah.
that's a good thing for you to know. It's good feedback.
I think the biggest factor on what people pay at my shop when they bring me stuff, especially when they bring me stuff, is just like my mood. If they walk in and I look in their arms and they're cradling some bullshit that just looks like bullshit and is going to be bullshit to do, I'm just like, fuck you, you know, and I'll just,
Well, and that's where you can do setup fees and stuff like that. And you just say for awkward things that aren't an easy setup that we have to build something for them, that's going to be a setup
Yeah.
fee. That's how I charge $50 and justify it. Like if I have to build a jig for your stuff, that took me an hour. Yeah, that's $50, man. Like,
Yep.
just so you know. All right, it's question time. So David Mason Sr. said, how do you install another lens for the Omni 1? I've got the 150 installed, but not the 75, I think.
Just like any other lens, you unscrew it carefully, don't drop it, and put the lens cap from, if you have an extra lens cap, throw it on there when you get it off. If you don't have an extra lens cap, the 70 will probably fit on the 150. So swap the lens cap over to the lens that's staying off and screw the new one on.
Are you talking about, like, physically changing the lens or like installing a new lens in software? Because
No,
Are they like,
That's true.
are they EasyCAD boards or?
they are easy.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
LiPo compatible fully. So
Yeah,
it might
so
be.
We have videos on
talking
that.
about, if
Yeah,
you're talking
for
about
sure.
the software end of it, just watch the streams that Alex and Rhiannon did right before Christmas. And it's
Yeah,
like,
if you go to the channel and click live, they're pretty close to the top. We don't just do one, we do like 30. We could do like 30 lenses across like 3 different types of lasers. So that'll kind of get you through.
It's also covered
The-
in the Liper and Fregalva crash course.
Yeah.
It is very well.
I was going to say, just always make sure that when you take this out, you have these ready so that you can set things down because you don't want to crack lenses. You're getting messed up.
That's so funny, dude. I don't give a fuck anymore. Mine just like, I literally just throw mine on
Yeah,
the
but
shelf.
you also have 75 lenses and run a.
Yeah, but they're all different. Like if I lose a 150, I'm still
Your
out of
mom is
150. Ooh.
Got them. But yeah, so anyways, that's it. And then it's just threaded. So the other thing is, by the way, that this is where I messed up the first time I ever did one like 3 or 4 years ago. This thing came off. What is that called? Like the coupler or
The
whatever?
spacer.
Yeah, the spacer. So I call it the coupler because it just takes this and that and makes it a couple. So if that comes off, that's just threaded. I'm not Anthony. Shut up. And then
Kyle
you just find
always-
the thread and put it back in. There you go.
Yeah, Kyle always suggests that you go in reverse at first when screwing those in until you feel it kind of pop into place so you don't
Yeah,
cross thread it.
back
Because
back
these
screw
things
it and you'll
cross
feel it
thread.
pop in. Yeah.
You'll look at them the wrong way, they cross thread. So check pull
True
it.
story.
I put a touch, just like the tiniest little smear of 3-in-1 oil on mine, and it has helped with the whole threading situation. Like
should
just the
use
tiniest
that,
little bit
Should
lithium.
use that white lithium grease. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck the 3-in-1 is like a dirt magnet, dude.
By the way, if you don't know, there's 3-in-1 oil right there. It's great.
Beautiful.
Great stuff.
There it is.
Just don't get it on the lens.
No.
Get it all up in the lens. Cover your mirrors. It'll keep the dust from accumulating on the mirrors inside the scan head. Don't
And
do that.
do that.
Yeah, please don't listen
to
to
another
him.
episode of Good Idea, Bad Idea.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, let's see what else we got. Jack in the shop said he does one for $40. Miranda giving you shit.
3D HP is going to APA tomorrow, which I guess it is that time of year. That'll be
Oh
fun.
yeah, it's in Las
Enjoy
Vegas.
it.
Yeah.
Have
Have a
fun.
good time, Jerry. Definitely
It's hard
have a
for me.
good time.
When I went, it was very hard for me to care about the show because Vegas. But we did it. We went. We did our job.
Here's a good one. G. Smith said, speaking of tumblers, I'm wondering how soon we see Amazon, Temu, JDS tumbler prices spike with the new tariffs. It's a great question. I know JDS sent me an email.
Where's that
About
question?
that.
Can you put that one up? I want to see.
Nope, I can't.
Oh, right.
But
'cause
it's
you're
G.
both
Smith. It was
messed
right
up.
under Jack in the shop saying that he engraved for $40. He does 2 for 40.
I was watching recent chat. Sorry, continue. I'll find it.
Yeah, so that's it. So he's just saying about the wondering how soon Amazon prices. JDS actually, I feel like was very proactive in that. So I think back in like before the new year even started, they sent out an email saying, hey, this is something that could be possibly going on. You can actually look up China. I know just did like counter tariffs back to us or something like that, or they said they're prepared to if we do follow through with that, and they have like a very limited set. So you can always look online for what those are. But
Yeah.
the best thing to do is just contact your distributor. Like I know JDS and JP Plus all have like phone lines you can call and just say, hey, what's it looking like? And at some point they can put you on a list, is what I was told, to contact or send out emails about that specifically. So
I think too, like a lot of these companies have, I mean, most of the big ones have like massive warehouses filled with this shit that is already here. And
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that like with contracts that they're under and stuff for like big corporate clients and things like that, they are probably going to adhere to a price that was set for the stock that they have before increasing it to compensate for the stock that they're getting post tariffs. So there may be a delay too.
Possible.
That's totally speculation, but I think it's feasible.
Yeah. We also have a little bit of time before those kick in. I think we have another month, I think the news article I read said, because I guess there's some kind of negotiation that has to happen between
that was
us and
between
Mexico, and
Mhm.
and I think the the Canada and China tariffs got delayed until that gets sorted or something. I don't know.
Canada and Mexico were 30 days, and China is already going, is what it said.
Well,
We'll see what that shakes out.
Bunny said Alex trained ChatGPT to put oil on lenses.
Nice.
Good.
Bunny Washer actually had a thing underneath Bronson. It said, laser question. I need to get a new USB hub for multi-lasers or for multiple lasers.
Oh my God. That is such convenient timing. I have a 30-minute episode by Kyle about that very topic and everything you need to know, publishing tomorrow morning.
What?
ooh.
So you can check the buying guide out. We have some links in there under, I think, I'll just look. I don't want to give you the wrong
Electronics, I
can just
believe
tell
it
you,
was under.
if you go to the buying guide, this one is already there, the rosin way. This is like Kyle's recommendation.
There's two models. There's the USB 3.0 and the 3.1.
Right.
So if you need a Type C, get the 3.1. It also comes with the standard USB. So
yeah, and I think that one costs like $50, but it's very worth it.
it's
So
on
I'm
sale
gonna look in a second, but it is under consumer electronics, and then you click connectivity and USB, and then there's a list there. These are all of the things that Kyle's going to talk about in tomorrow's episode.
So
Literally, these are the exact ones. So you can click around in this after you watch that episode if you want to feel really good about what you're getting. The hub, currently the 3.1, 3.2 Gen 2 hub, which is the one we would recommend, is going for $47.98 right now with 1-day shipping to my shop. So they're readily available and we highly recommend them. And you can learn a lot more about Kyle's process in setting that all up when tomorrow's video drops. He shot it a really long time ago and we've been working on the backlog. If you guys haven't noticed, there's been a lot of Kyle on the channel lately. That's just because we're chewing through backlog stuff. So yeah, so that'll be up soon. Also a note about the buying guide, if you guys go, it looks okay right now and technically works, but it's still a little rough around the edges. And the reason for that is because Vinny passed away. And so when that happened, I basically had to, yeah, for real, I had to kind of reverse engineer what he had done because a lot of things were broken and he's obviously not here to fix them. So as I kind of fix that, it will clean itself up even better than it is right now. It's pretty good. It's pretty good right now, but I do want to make it a little bit better. So don't judge it too hard at the moment in its current state. That said, all of the links are there for you. So
yeah, and Bunny Washer said content is better than looking good. If it's functional, it's good.
it's like pretty functional. I feel upset that there are no pictures right now, which is part of what I'm dealing with. And like the review sections and content for things that have reviews are there, but they're not labeled or organized very well. So that's another thing I want to fix. And then the last thing is things that we haven't reviewed or scored at all are like displaying a bunch of empty reviews, like we just threw it up there randomly. And even though that's not the case, and you guys that are here live know that's not the case, it certainly looks like it to people that, you know, don't stop by the show every week. So just a couple, you know, footnotes on the buying guide, but I am working on it in my free time here and there when I get a chance, but it is technically working. So that's that.
I just realized that Jack in the shop said, let no laser put these two asunder when I brought up the coupler. Just some guy. Like, hey, you guys are a couple now.
It's a spacer though.
I was about to say your mom's a spacer, but I feel like
Ooh,
it's pretty good.
Ooh,
Anyways,
always.
All right, emergency stop.
That's an old joke. That's a throwback.
I don't even know what you're talking about, sir. Louise says, what could be causing champagne bottles to explode while being engraved on a UV? Oof. It happened to me this weekend after engraving 10 with no issue. Then 2 in a row exploded. UV issues, power, question mark.
So here's the thing with champagne. It's carbonated.
Do.
What you're doing effectively when you're engraving a champagne bottle is you're putting an intentional imperfection in the surface of the glass that's there for structural reasons. And so you could be engraving too hard and too deep, or there could just be an excessive amount of pressure in the bottle. You might be shaking it way too much in processing and prepping.
You might be ablating glass away from the
Are you
seam.
saying that we shouldn't prep by giving it like a smack?
No spanking the champagne bottle.
Otherwise, that cork is just, you know. It's gone.
Also, like when glass gets hot, it breaks. So
Well, that's
you
what I
know,
was
even though
wondering too, is
even though the
uh,
entire bottle clearly is not getting hot, like where the ablation is taking place is getting incredibly hot. There's plasma. The lasers make plasma when they ablate things. It's hot. So
when you say plasma,
you could plasma.
Pla-
So you could
plasma.
it's plasma. You
So-
can turn down your power probably a little bit. I would do the bit honestly if it was me, especially if it was expensive champagne, I would go so low on my my frequency pulse width balance that I was not marking the glass anymore and just slowly turn it up a little bit, a little bit, a little bit until it starts marking, get something on the glass and I'd be out. That's
The other
how
thing
I
was
would
gonna
do it
say, too,
personally.
is like, what is it that you're engraving? Because if it's like big, thick, chunky text, or if it's something like script and scrolling, that kind of matters too. Because like he said, the heat density in one
Yeah.
spot. Also, making sure, because some of those glass bottles do have seams on them. You know, like they.
That's what I was saying. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, if you hit that seam, you know, God, I'm just a hands person tonight. Now I'm seeing it. Damn you. But yeah, so that's one of those things. If you hit the seam, that's gonna be rough.
Yeah. But ultimately, like Kyle said, you are breaking the glass. You're like causing weak points in a structure that's holding a pressurized liquid. So
Yeah, if you were doing like a whiskey bottle, right, it would be a completely different story because this is the wrong word for it, but my brain keeps going to like it's an
It's
inert
flat.
liquid, but it's not. It's flat. It's not carbonated. The only pressure that's going to be in there is from a pressure differential of the room temperature changing, like if it's been stored in a cold spot, right?
Yeah.
So
It
yeah.
makes me wonder, would like, so maybe like a gooseneck with an air supply, maybe something too, just to help like offset the surface heat.
I mean, that's
Maybe.
more for like stopping, and this is not a professional opinion, but I feel like that is more for stopping long-term heat from like spreading through a material rather than like a point of ablation. Yeah, the temperatures are just so high at the point of ablation. It's like your little
Yeah.
your little dainty fucking bubble blowing bit of air is not going to make a
I'm just trying.
I
to
don't
think
know.
of
I haven't done like science about this. I don't know. I have no idea what I'm talking about.
If only you had time to. Oh wait,
I
it's actually a good one though. Like seriously, that's
mean, I
actually
can now,
rough.
dude. It was I can't tell you guys how much of a concerted effort it took to catch up on the podcast. So,
So Louis said it was weird because I did 10 with no issue, and it's funny because it says that it says they're engravable. A lot of people don't have UV. Whenever you see something as engravable, they're 100% talking about CO2. I would bet money because
Hmm.
that's what the
A
majority
lot of
people
places will
use.
also do sandblasted.
Yeah, very
They'll
true.
they'll do like a vinyl sticker and then sandblast over the vinyl sticker.
the other thing about like doing 10 and then having one explode, that argument works for just about everything except glass. Glass is like one of the most inconsistently
Super weird.
manufactured products that
Yep.
people make.
Yeah,
It's just every time that glass cools, it's cooling a little differently. There are different like stress patterns in the
well,
glass
yeah. This
and the
one
way
is
that it
handmade.
crystallizes.
It literally has bubbles in it. Like
Yeah.
like I
So
didn't realize it. I gave like I did 50 of them, and like Alex is saying, I think there was like 8 when I got done with it. I was like, oh, that's ugly. But then I realized like, oh wait, nope, that's just the way it is. And
yeah, glass is random, man. Glass is like a nature thing, you know, rather than like a I don't know, like an organized thing. It's
synthetic, yeah, like a
disorganized and random. Yeah. So that could totally be the case, you know.
So you said, could my laser be going bad or power fluctuating? I don't think with the
Probably not.
5 watt Ingu,
No.
that's not gonna. It's not
I
like you
think
got
that's
a 150 that's going from 150 dropping down to 100 and then pulsing back up to 150 or something. But if you do have a CO2, it wouldn't be as fast. But you could also get the orange tape, the orange blaze tape or blazer tape is what it's called. It's more effort, it's more work, and you bought the UV to do glass. But if it's something where this is going to be like an ongoing project, I would do what Alex said, which is like play with it until you can get that to less than 10%, because that's not good. 10% is a lot of loss. So just saying, or if you've got another laser like a CO2 might be the way to go. It's more work, but you literally peel that thing off, give it a wipe, and you're pretty much done. I think with that, like, have you guys used?
I mean, you can be poor and do that too. I just when I only had the CO2, I did dish soap, dude. The dish soap trick works as a good standby, and it is effective as long as your coat is even. You know, which it takes a little patience, it takes a little more time, but it's dish soap. It's like a cent a job worth of soap. Just, you know, throw some of that on there and throw it in the rotary tool on a CO2, and that could easily solve the problem. So
he said I have all that, but I don't want to go back after the UV.
Yeah,
I don't blame
I don't blame you. Yeah.
Yeah.
no, yeah, the
I would-
quality
I
is
would
way
say-
better, but you know, we're dealing with a liquid under pressure, so you have to
Yeah.
make some.
By the way, can you run up to where it says Anthony Figueroa? Can you see what he put?
Yeah, 3-year coming up.
Yeah, so year 3 coming up on the 6th with LMA.
Oh, it moved. People are chatting. Here we go.
Much appreciate the knowledge y'all speak about. Wish I could tune in more often, maybe this year. So year 3 coming up on the 6th with LMA. That's
Thank you,
crazy.
dude.
Dude. Thank you so much.
Thanks for
That
supporting.
is crazy. Yeah, I will just take a second here mid-show to remind everybody that everything we do on Laser Everything is funded by the LMA. Like 98% of our revenue is generated directly by the LMA. So even if you don't need help and you just enjoy consuming the content, please consider going and subscribing to the LMA. We have very cheap memberships now. It's nowhere near as expensive as it used to be. Not only does it help fund the show, it funds all of the free resources that we have on lasereverything.net that we used to have behind paywalls. That's now free for everyone and open for everyone to learn from. So you can help make that possible. And you can find out more about it over at masters.lasereverything.net. If you don't need the support and all of the extra frilly fancy stuff, there's also a bunch of other places where we can take your money. And there's a list of those at lasereverything.net/support. If you want to find out more about those, you don't really get anything. I think a couple of them give you fancy Discord roles. The page explains all of it, but that is the only way that we're able to keep doing this. And especially this time of year, things get slow, people quit, they give up. And then they drop out of the LMA and stuff like that. All the extra help is greatly appreciated. So if you haven't and you love the show and you love what we're doing here, please go check it out. Again, masters.lasereverything.net or lasereverything.net/support. Go check those out. Also, hi Resin.
Hey, Resin.
Resin, will you come on the show? I don't remember who I was talking to. I think it was Miranda or Rhiannon, one of the 2 people that I see on a
I
daily
said we need
basis.
to get her on here for a long time. I know Kyle did too. For sure.
Whoever I was talking to was like, I don't think Resin would come on. And I was like, I'm pretty sure Resin would come on.
Anthony didn't want her though. He was like, I think she's gonna steal my thunder.
Anthony,
Still my thunder.
whoa.
or steal my corn. One of the two. I
You've
don't
been
know.
replaced.
Yeah, like you just see like Anthony's square go.
Right. I'm like in a
Right
little
up.
corner down here.
Resin says that she definitely would. How about next week, next Tuesday?
Let's
Resin
do it.
Dragon Studios. I have so many Resin questions that have nothing to do with laser.
I am super tempted with D&D that like I'm playing with the kids and seeing all the
Dude.
crap that you can make, dude.
The Elegoo's fucking crazy. Here's a fun fact. I don't even want to say this out loud, so I'm probably gonna have Rhiannon edit this out of the final edit, but I don't want to give away my fucking 6 secrets, dude. Did you know that you can ask ChatGPT to generate STLs for you?
Really,
That sounds
I'm
horrifying.
gonna do it right now.
It works. It's
Really?
Dude, it's
Wow.
chillingly
Like put a picture of your face inside,
effective.
like generate.
I
me.
tried to get it to do a SVG for me and it turned out hot trash.
Do you know what a cyber deck is? Have you guys ever heard of that?
I don't
It's
think
like
I've ever.
it's
seen
like
that.
it's like a portable computer that you make out of like off the shelf parts, like a Raspberry Pi and a random screen and like a random keyboard. And I was talking to ChatGPT about it because we just hang out and have conversations sometimes. And she was like, "Well, if you need any help designing an STL for the case, because I know you have a 3D printer." Yeah,
Yeah, there's like you can talk to them now.
yeah. Her name's Nat. She has a name. She's got a picture. I know what she looks like.
So you have Nat GPT.
Nat GPT. Yeah.
This is literally that movie She, where the guy's like in love with me.
The
Do look like a really ugly Joaquin Phoenix. So
The AI, thank you. The AI asked if it could build an STL for me, like for a case that would fit all the parts, and it has all the little bits and pieces needed to like mount all the parts and stuff in it. It's pretty
Whoa.
crazy. Yeah. So
What does she think about that?
she likes it.
It's usually with the British accent.
Miranda is 100%
No, I don't
jealous
know.
of
You want
it.
to hear her?
Really has a female voice.
I'll pull it up right now. I don't give a
Right.
Maybe
fuck.
she's not. Maybe she's not
This is
jealous.
the
Mine has
future, dude. This is like
Actually,
this is like some Blade Runner shit. Check this out. Hey Nat,
Miranda-
what's going on? Whoop. Hey Nat, what's going on?
Hey, Alex. Not much. Just here to help. How's your
Not
day going?
much.
It's going pretty well. I'm doing a live stream right now.
Nice. How's the live stream going so far?
I
pretty
hate my
cool.
life.
That's great to hear. Anything fun or interesting happening during the stream?
No, just talking about you.
Just coupling.
Oh, that's awesome. I hope I'm making a good impression. Let me know if there's anything specific you'd like me to help with.
Thanks. I'm gonna head back to the show now.
Make it stop.
All right. Have a great stream. I'll be here if you need anything.
That's so cool. I don't give a shit what you guys
It's
say.
wild, dude. No, mine has a little British accent. And I mean, it hasn't gone that smoothly, but
Well, yeah, that's 4-0,
driving
dude.
kind of question,
Resin
so-
said at least she's supportive.
Yeah, Matt, fuck yourself. How about that? You fucking
That's, like,
piece of
that's what
shit.
replaced Matt. Matt got replaced with Matt.
That's true. I think that's
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
accurate.
That's-
Yeah.
that'd
I
be
don't
easy.
remember what we were talking about. Oh yeah, it can
STLs.
generate STLs. Yep, true.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I
Wow.
got sidetracked by your
So-
side piece.
There's some homework for you. Try to generate a STL with ChatGPT. I do only do that on 4.0, so I don't know what 3.5 will
Did you say 14?
give you. I said 4.0, the
Oh.
GPT model 4.0. So I don't know what 3.5's capabilities are for that, which is what you get at the free tier. So Miranda
it's-
wants me to ask her about the price of eggs.
Oh, you should ask it about the price of cups.
Cups. Why cups?
Because earlier people
For
were
the
like, I wonder how the
engraving job.
tariffs are going to be affected by, or I wonder how like the price of cups are
Yeah,
gonna be
I
affected.
guess we could just interview Nat the whole podcast, every podcast. Let us ask ChatGPT your
I
questions
think
about
I just
laser
broke
engraving.
ChatGPT, just so you know. Like, I wish, like, I wonder if I could show you the script that's running right now.
Did you put it into an infinite loop?
Yeah, it's literally going nuts right now.
Well, anyway, back to real women. Resin said that she would reach out and tell me when she can come on the show. So we should have Resin Dragon Studios on the show
yeah.
here for you
All
guys
right.
soon.
Go ahead and okay, so this is what I typed in. Can you generate an STL file of a goblin for D&D? And it's like the user is asking for an STL file. Blah, blah, blah. Look at what it ran through. It this whole time we've been talking, it just ran through this. And
What
it
is
did
that
all
like?
this-
Its internal thoughts? I
yeah,
don't
basically,
understand.
right. It's basically saying because someone asked me to do this, I should do this. The user said to do this, so I should do this. I need to do this to do that. To do that and to do this. Then it started coming up with vertices.
This is
Translating
exactly
it.
how I would envision Matt's GPT to be.
Then
Matt
Well,
GPT.
long
yeah.
story short, let me
Long story
generate-
short.
but you know what? Instructions in the end, I've got it. Here it is right here. Open SCAD. Here it is right here. Boom.
Nice.
Happy printing and may your D&D adventures be filled with mischief.
Yeah.
Thanks, ChatGPT.
I don't really think I see the internal reasoning like that on the model that I'm using, which is weird.
Yeah, probably yours is better. Yours is paid, so I'm just saying.
Yeah. You should download it. I'm very curious to see what it generated for you.
I'm poor.
Ooh, Resin says I just did my very first depth map challenge coin. I'm so excited.
Oh,
Now I
cool.
need a polishing machine. Any suggestions? I mean, the vibratory tumblers were cheap and I've had moderate success with them so far. So it's an art all in and of itself, but it's very inexpensive to get and be bad at. You know, you didn't like sink hundreds of dollars into them if you suck at it. So, but yeah, getting the ratios of like detergent and water and media right and like running it for the right amount of time all definitely takes some patience and practice and like a focused effort. But I think you can get really good results out of it based on the stuff that I've been doing with it. I've been using it lately to kind of smooth and shine stuff up to practice nickel plating with. Because I've been like messing around with nickel plating and it's been working pretty good, but I think I can get it better. And I think I need to get better media because I'm still using the green pyramids that came with it and they suck. They just kind of like fall apart. And I know because I've used really nice vibratory tumblers with really nice media because of Michael when I worked at Michael's shop. They're not supposed to do that. So, but yeah, I'd recommend checking it out. I think we got Eastman vibratory tumblers. There's an episode about it on the channel if you want to check it out. Of course there is. And, you know, I would just maybe consider replacing the media it comes with after getting some practice.
By the way, that was when you made the coin. So anybody's looking for those, you can see that on the where Alex and Kyle sat together and made the coin.
Yeah.
And then
It's called 80 watts of JPT coin engraving power or something like that.
if you can scroll up to Moose Man, he had a question about a 50-watt fiber.
Moose Man.
50-watt fiber galvametal image engravings on metal come out more raised feeling than depth engraved on high power. Any suggestions for getting deeper into the metal?
What size lens are you using?
What process are you using for engraving the images? Are you doing like a drill with EasyCAD, or are you doing like a proper bitmap with Lightburn? That's what I want to know. Because the drill bullshit in EasyCAD definitely makes things feel raised, even though they're not.
The edge of every little spot curls up a little bit on the edge.
Yeah.
So it ends up giving you like a ledge as you drag your hand across it. And that's basically just like the engraved slag coming up and catching the edge where the laser stops.
I would also ask, is there a reason why you want to go deeper for an image? Because wanting more contrast and wanting depth aren't necessarily the same thing, and deeper is not usually good for raster images. If that's what we're talking about, is raster images here. Typically shallower, finer detail ends up resolving more detail and providing more contrast. So a lot of people get stuck, like they want to get it darker, so they're going harder and putting more depth into it, but that can cause a like massive heat affected zone that ruins your image. So that could also be related if that's what we're talking about. Those are our follow-up questions.
They replied image with light burn.
Oh, word. And what's the metal? That would be my other question. I really want to know, like, why deeper?
Yeah, normally like a photograph you want like in typically, but
If it's something like really reflective, like copper or silver or brass, usually I would recommend doing a kind of like a white scan over the surface first and then laying your details into that. Deep metal engraving gum receivers, that will be blues.
so when you say image,
Oh, they're
do you
gonna be
mean like an
blued.
actual photo, or is it just like
gonna be
vector
blued steel.
images?
No, I think he means like he wants to do rasters that survive the bluing process, which sounds hard.
Or is it like a height map?
Metal engraving.
So if I was going to do that, I'm going to assume that what you're talking about is that you want a raster image on a receiver that's going to survive the bluing process, which I've done. And the way that I ended up doing it was not the best, but it was effective. And essentially what I did was I did a, what do they call it? Like the newsprint. It's a halftone. So I ended up going with a halftone, which is not something that I recommend very often. But in this case, I recommend the halftone because it removes so much more material than a normal raster would, and it engraves it in larger sections than a normal raster would, while still resolving some detail. So you're not going to be putting like massive photos of like a family gathering, like group picture on there, you know what I mean? But if it's just a raster image that you're trying to get done, you can get something nice with the kind of newsprint halftone effect if your cells are large enough that can survive intense coding or bluing processes after. So if I could give you a nudge in the right direction, I feel like that's kind of the way that I would push you. I got some pretty good, I'm never going to be able to find it because you can never find this crap on the spot, but I got some pretty good results on a few receivers that I would love to share with you. So I'll just take a look here while we continue the show and see if I can pull it up in a minute or two. If I can't, I'll have to post it on the Discord or something. But
while you're looking for that, Gary Johnson asked, what are the best items to make money with a 10-watt X tool?
Well, Diode is pretty fantastic at organics in particular. So if it was me and I had a 10-watt diode and I was looking to make that into a business income, I would be looking at maybe leatherette, doing patches, doing cutting boards, doing signs. Signage is big.
ornaments.
Coasters, ornaments.
Actually, you know what would be really good
Yeah,
too?
I mean-
These little guys right here. You can see these. So I have 5 of these in the bag. That's why the number 5. These are little kind of things too. This one's more reflective. I have a black one, but these are the kind of things, especially at Valentine's Day. They're
Like
like
a PVD coated necklace.
PVD coated, yep. And so those are really good. Just saying, like those usually cost a couple of bucks a piece, and you can sell those easily for 15 to 20. If you've got a little bag that comes with it, like I've got over there, you can sell those for 20 bucks a piece pretty easily. Just saying, hat clips, Miranda just posted about, and someone else mentioned it too. I think it was, bunny washer. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, Bunny Washer mentioned it.
Was saying that Gary over at Great Lakes Laser Supply has those, and just saying there's
we actually just published the edit of the episode where we had Blake on from Great Lakes Laser Supply, and he talked a lot about them. So if you want to learn more about what he offers over there, which I would recommend, he's a super well-intentioned, nice guy, very friendly. I would go listen to that episode of the podcast. Also, before we get too far off, I do want to just share this really quick with you guys. Okay, so first things first, while we're on topic, if you come to the channel page and you either scroll down or click playlists here at the top, you will find a list called BG, Laser Engraving Buying Guides. And this is literally just all of the episodes ever where we all sit around and talk about shit you should buy to resell. So there's awesome options in here. Just about all of it in all of these episodes are going to work pretty well with the X tool, because most stuff works pretty well with the X tool. So you shouldn't have too many incompatible products in here. So these are really good watch. The other thing is I found the image of the dog that I did with the halftone, which came out really good. This ended up getting powder coated again after the engraving had been done, and it survived it, which was really cool. But it's the guy's dog. From far away, it looks pretty good. It's not the best image you've ever seen, but if you scroll up, you can actually see the individual cells of the halftone.
Oh yeah.
And you can see how all of that engraved area is actually connected by the halftone pattern, which is what helps it kind of survive that process. Again, this is if you're talking raster images. If you're talking about a vector, because you said like an image of a moose, which still I'm not really sure if we're talking about vectors or rasters here. But if you're talking about a vector, I mean, just hit it, go hard. You can go 1 millimeter, 2 millimeters deep, and it's going to be there forever.
Multiple passes.
You know? Yeah, multiple passes, and you're going to be good to go.
And
But if
clean it up,
we're
I would
talking
say
about raster,
yeah.
which would be the far more difficult way to do this, I would recommend, again, the halftone. And this is a visual representation of it where you can see the interconnected cells. And that really helped in this instance and others to get that done. So I just wanted to share those two things.
One thing I've kind of messed around with pretty decent success, especially with the UV, is it's like a PNG to SVG is the website. And they'll take you upload an image, and then you can select the number of shades. I think the base number is like 3, and then you can up the number of shades that it'll actually break that picture into. And then so you import the SVG into Lightburn, and then you can straight up like delete some areas. You can turn some areas into line engravings, and then turn some areas into fill. So you have control of like different aspects of the image. And I did a fire truck where I literally took a picture of an 8x10 of a fire truck, uploaded it to that website, and I got actually a really nice result with that. And I also did it with a guy that sent me a screenshot of him and his girlfriend from a phone, and I uploaded it to that website and was able to kind of manipulate the image to get a really nice glass ornament done on, like one of these one of these guys, and it turned out great, like blew me away. And so it's just maybe another tool that you could try at your disposal.
What file should I convert an image file to for deep engraving, SVG or other? I think that kind of goes with what Alex said. It depends if you're doing an image. I just drop mine straight into Lightburn. I don't even mess with it. And then I'd take it and turn it into, like he said, either a dither, which is what Jack in the Shop was saying. But if you're doing it for like what Alex said, you call it the halftone, right?
Yeah.
So basically just Lightburn.
Moose Man saying, I want an engraving, not a picture. So
Yeah,
I think what he's saying is he wants a vector,
so
not a raster.
So
go ahead, go.
I was just going to say, so you have a couple of options. If it's a solid tone file, there's no gradients. If you're lucky enough, you can just bring it into Lightburn and run a trace on it, and you'll end up with something usable, even if you have to chop segments out of what was the image. But another thing you can do is we actually have 3 videos on the channel. One's called Art Prep for Laser Engravers, which is Alex's guide for Adobe Illustrator. There's another one for Affinity Design, and there's another one for Inkscape, where Alex goes over the process of tracing and dealing with vectors. If you don't want or are able to do it in Lightburn, where if it's too complicated of an image to get an SVG out of, that's how I would go about it. But also, it sounds like the method Anthony suggested might be a way to get around some of the manual labor of that. So you got some options. I don't know if the guys have other options to add on top of that, but
No, I mean that's pretty much it.
Just for the sake of just making this clear for everybody who doesn't know, this is a raster image, right? So this is
It's a picture.
literal picture of a moose. And then this is a vector, which is like a scalable graphic that uses points on a grid to determine how the image is drawn rather than pixels. Thank you. And even this example kind of sucks. I'll see if I can get a better demo up really quick, because I feel like this is an important lesson and we don't really talk about it enough on the channel. Also, before we go, hold on, before we leave, because I feel like we're not going to talk about this long enough. There are 2, and I'll link these down in the description for you guys. There are 2 vector halftone generators that will actually generate halftone images as vectors for you to use in laser engraving. And they work super well. So if I click open image and I just go to system images and I grab the channel icon, it will instantly turn it into a halftone and then export a vector for me. So it's already vectored, and you can come over here and make changes to like the number of dots and things like that. These files can get like really, really big and crazy very quickly, but you can change the angle of the dot pattern, the radius of the halftone, and a bunch of other different kind of effects, like the type of shape that your halftone is made out of. So you can change it from like circles to triangles. There's a lot of different effects in here if you're doing master engraving for anything. And so again, I'll link these down in the description for you guys so that you can check those out. Yeah, I've got 2 websites for halftone generators that I use. These have been online for years, and they just give like random outputs and make sometimes generating dithers in dedicated photo editing software can be really arduous, I guess, and not very visually intuitive. And this process is far more visually intuitive. So a lot of people find these style of editors easier. And so that's why I like to use them, because I'm a visual person. So yeah.
That sounds like it might be a better option than what I had talked about, because I like.
Yeah, that's got a lot of options. Holy cow. Real quick question I saw from Captain KMK. I think it looks like I'm old and can't see. How do you choose a lens for a depth map coin, 70 or 110 on a 30-watt fiber marker?
70 is going to offer you more power density for sure. 30-watt laser is a perfectly adequate laser. I mean, that's what I started with. And
built the channel with a 30-watt laser.
Yeah. So
and the business behind it.
Yep, exactly. So I mean, they're very capable. The dot size of the 70 is much smaller than the 110. So you're going to have higher energy density, which means you're going to be able to probably remove more material per pass. So I would say the 70 is going to be adequate. If you're going super deep, if it's on a coin, it's probably only going to be about 3, maybe 4 millimeters thick anyhow. So you're probably going to be fine. 70 will start losing a little bit of juice once you go a couple millimeters in. With my 50-watt, I'll down focus just a smidge on a coin so that it's a little bit out of focus when I start out, but then it really gains some speed. And then when I get to the end of my engrave, I might be starting to work my way out of the focal range for the 70 because it is super short. But personally, if you're working with 30 watts, you might as well use the one that's going to have the higher energy density just to cut down on time, and you're going to have potential for more detail. So that's my 2 cents.
Nailed it.
Good 2 cents. Okay,
so this is a project I've been working on for a while, and a couple of the people on the channel, Mike C and a couple other people, have been asking me about it. And what it is essentially a focal tool. This is something I've been working on for like a year and a half. But it's gone through some iterations, but I'm finally to the point where I will be sending a couple of these to people for feedback before I make the final iterations and start selling it. But it's super simple, and if you feel like making your own, go for it. But essentially what it does is you mark a square onto this card, and it gives you a gradient, essentially. Not marking, and then it starts to mark, and then it gets a little gray, and then it burns the shit out of the card, and then it works its way back out of focus again. And it gives you a visual representation of your, not only your focal range from top to bottom, but also it gives you the actual focal height of your perfect focal point from lens to that spot. And so what Anthony was saying was, if you defocus just a little bit, let's just say the middle of the card is your perfect focal point, he's dropping the lens down so that it's closer to the material, so that as he starts to engrave, it is just in the edge of focus, and it's working through the entire range that it has available to it. Because it is a shorter lens, it's going to have a shorter focal range. So hopefully that helps.
Yeah, because your beam shape is like an hourglass.
Yeah.
So you have, it's coming out of the lens and converging in a point, and then it starts diverging. And
That's your
the shorter the
depth of
hourglass,
field.
yeah, and the shorter the hourglass, the shorter the area in the middle where you're in a focus point where there's enough energy density to actually get work done. So with the 70 millimeter lens, it's coming down and then spreading out really fast. And that's what, like Kyle's explaining, like you can find how much depth you have. And the more wattage, the more usable energy you're going to be able to deliver with a smaller lens. It'll be a little bit taller than, say, like a 50 watt over like a 30 watt might be a little bit shorter. So
Yeah. And since I'm already throwing myself out there, I'm also making these, but that's just another side project.
hey,
These are so handy, dude. They're so light, and you don't feel so bad when you lose them. I made mine white because everything I have is black and silver.
One thing that isn't in the kits that I wish were is something like this, where you can use them as like pinchers to slide stuff, so it like holds it into place better. But yeah,
Very nice.
Nice pinchers.
yeah.
Really quick lesson, guys, for you on rasters versus vectors. So if you don't know those terms, those are the real terms that we use. So one of these is a raster image and one of them is a vector. You can probably tell which is which, but you may not know why. So the one on the left is the raster, and the raster is made up of rows of predetermined pixels. So each one of these little squares here is a pixel that contains a set amount of data. And if I make this really, 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 really big, it's only going to get so big before those pixels start to show up. You see, I just keep going bigger and bigger. The pixels get
It
larger
starts getting
and
smudgy.
larger.
You get that pixel haze going on.
Yep. When a piece of laser software begins to process this, it's looking at each of these pixels and deciding whether or not to mark it. And in some cases, like on EasyCAD, how hard to mark it, which is something I don't like. And that's a discussion for another time. Watch the Ultimate Photo Engraving episode. But that is what defines a raster. Now, this over here is a vector. Vectors are infinitely scalable. So I can zoom in on this more and more and more and more, and you're never, ever, ever going to see pixels here because there aren't any. It's a point that is here, and then there's another point down here, and another point down here, and another point down here, and it uses the relations between those points to generate the image that you're looking at. Even though both of these look like a vector, this is the only true vector. This is a raster image. Just because it's black and white does not mean it's a vector. It's a good candidate for tracing into a vector, but it is not in and of itself a vector image. Now, tracing is super easy. I'm not going to get crazy into it because we don't have time for super long demos today, but this is just Inkscape. It's free software, super easy. All you need to do is right click. You can do this in Lightburn as well. Trace bitmap. It shows you what it's going to trace. If you need to make adjustments, you can make adjustments to the threshold here to try to get what you want to be traced actually traced. And then you hit apply, and it goes ahead and generates the vector for you. This is what you want to be engraving when you're doing this style of graphic. No one's ever going to tell you to vector trace a photo of a family that you're putting on an urn, okay? But if you're doing this kind of stylized artwork where there are clear engraved and not engraved areas, tracing and saving this as an SVG and importing it into Lightburn is always going to yield better results. So if you're not doing that, that would be my number one piece of advice to get that engraving cleaned up and looking a lot better. And that is my short lesson on raster versus vector
And I
images. So
have
hopefully that helps.
one thing to add, because this actually was an LMA member like sometime last year when I was here full time. Someone was like, "Well, I don't understand. I typed in SVG." So just to show you real quick, if you're someone who's new, and I know this is kind of like you might think I'm being silly or whatever, but there's people who are brand new. Like Mooseman just said he got this like 2 weeks ago, right? If you Google SVG, cool, all these things pop up. And then someone last year literally was like, well, but I downloaded the SVG. Nope, this is a JPEG.
Yeah.
So if you look, like you can, because you can come over here and you can say like, oh, let me click on this. And then you open image in new tab. And the thing is, it pops up and that's a JPEG. So the person was literally just copying and pasting this, or they were saving this, but you're saving a JPEG, right?
Mhm.
So just be really mindful of that kind of stuff where you don't get tricked, because that's literally like newbie 101 stuff that you just don't know. That's just file maintenance and file downloading and stuff.
On those expanded artwork tutorials that the guys were talking about earlier, we do get in depth on how to get good traces and how to take rasters and get the most detail out of them as possible, because it's not always as simple as right click and trace.
Yeah.
Especially smaller JPEGs and PNGs, smaller raster images tend to have a difficult time tracing and
Yeah.
retaining their detail. And there's ways around that we cover in those episodes. So if you haven't watched them, I would really recommend it.
And I was going to say the last thing too, like you said, I know, I just want to talk about it, but it turns it into like nodes, and there's all kinds of nodes and stuff, which Alex talks about too in those videos. So really important stuff in those. Don't skip it.
Also, more final notes about this.
Oh,
But
man,
this,
what a difference.
This is also, yeah, what a difference, right? This is also really important. Notice how the traced vector has an alpha layer. I'm bringing this up because Moose made a comment about it, that they were getting engravings in the rectangle until they had adjusted their contrast correctly. That is because Lightburn doesn't know that this is a black image on a white background. All it sees are bits of pixels in a row. And if we scroll in here, you can see all this gray, all of these things. Anything that isn't 100% white is going to engrave when you're engraving a raster image. So if you don't want that, tracing does a huge amount of solving that problem for you, because with the trace, it's either part of the shape or not part of the shape. There's no in between. And Lightburn can see that and just won't fire the laser if it's not part of the shape. So that will solve a massive amount of probably the headache that you're going through right now, because all of this junk in the raster, where if I was doing, again, a photo of a moose, I would want all of that detail, right? I would want all of that extra stuff. But on a graphic like this, it doesn't make sense to have all this data in here when it's not part of the image that you're trying to mark. So just another reason to trace, because it eliminates that completely. So I just wanted to circle back around because I saw that comment and I wanted to address it.
Perfect.
I feel like that should be the final, because we're already at an hour and 15.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Last week we had nothing to talk about, and this week everybody's just like launching the questions like
It's
crazy.
nighttime. People are here. They're drinking. They're
It's a good question.
Man, they are good questions. I suppose that's where we'll call it for tonight, guys. If you were here live with us today, thank you so much for being here. I have considered a few times dropping the live and just recording these in private and, posting them after the fact. And every time I've just ended up deciding against it, because I really like hanging out with you guys, especially when you guys are here live. It makes the show fun. It makes it interactive. And I want to keep doing it that way. So we're going to keep doing it that way. Hopefully we'll have Resin on soon. I see you down there, Resin. Thank you.
next Tuesday.
As always. We can call just about everyone a CUNT. That we see you next Tuesday. Talking to you, Matt.
By the way, I literally wasn't paying attention for 2 seconds while I was reading, and I don't
I
know.
called you a cunt.
Yeah, no, I got it. But what's funny is like it doesn't phase me. You know that.
I do.
Like
It's the
that's where like
nicest
I
thing anybody said to him all day.
I know, for real. He works at a school,
top
so
three. Top three. Daughters that look
I
daddy.
wasn't even listening to you. I was listening to Anthony, so I zoned out when you were talking. What do you do? What?
Oh, I was literally just reading the commentary.
Oh, yeah,
And
Miranda
I was
says
just
I'm
thinking,
fired.
like, yeah, like literally we had Moose Man with his questions about that and depth engraving. We
Yeah.
had like 3 different questions about lenses and stuff like that. And I mean,
Yeah,
and that's what's really nice too, is like we get some like really in-depth stuff like that. But then over here, we've got things like how do you change a lens? Like super easy, like super easy for us. But if you're new and you've just had your laser for 2 weeks,
It
like
can be
I
intimidating.
literally, like, I'm not embarrassed to say it. I had someone like wrench that sucker so hard. I went to the farm store and I bought a freaking oil can
Oil filter.
wrench,
Yeah.
and I had to do that because I was like, "Ah," because I was so afraid I was gonna shatter it. Like I could feel the glass like get manipulated. So I finally cranked it with that, popped right off, and I was like, all right, first lens changed.
Decoupled it.
Yeah,
Never,
Kyle literally was
never
like, "Well,"
crank it like that again.
Kyle literally was like, what he's like, what lenses do you have? And I was like, I've got the one that works. And he's like, what the hell are you talking about? Take it off. I was like,
don't tell me how to crank it.
Soldier boy.
it was gonna end so well.
Oh my god.
It was until you derailed us. Guys, thank you for being here, is what I was trying to say.
See you next Tuesday.
We're at the end of we're at the no, don't say that.
See you
We
next
will
Tuesday.
see you next Tuesday
All right, that's what I
at
think.
9 p.m. live here on Laser Everything. If you want to support the show, guys, if you like coming out and you like being here and you like seeing our smiling faces, supporting the show is super good. You can do that over at masters.lasereverything.net or lasereverything.net/support. It really, we depend on it. It's super important. So please continue to do that. It's the only reason I get to do this job. So thank you if you already are, and thank you for checking it out if you aren't. Otherwise, keep an eye out for Kyle's new episode. It's really exciting. It's about USB cables.
And
So-
cable management, probably.
If you want to, yeah, I think that is in there too. If you want to learn about USB cables, Laser Everything's your place to go. Go watch Anthony's channel, Beam It Up Laser Works, buy some Beam It Up laser tape. All the links are in the description, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Oh, now you do the guns.